It was certainly a roller coaster 4 years for U.S. China relations during the Trump administration. But will a change in administration bring some stability? Cheng Li joining us now. He's the director for the John L. Thornton China Center at the Brookings Institution. Always a pleasure chatting with you. Give me a sense of what you think we can see. I mean, it was a really kind of full court press for 4 years with the Trump administration. Is that likely to change overnight?
Well, it will change, but it will not change overnight. And certainly that the previous administration that took a policy basically wanted to change the Chinese government, to change the regime. And also that there's a lot of policies really do not reflect American values, including McCarthyism, racism against the Chinese or Chinese Americans. And also they pushed too hard on the Taiwan issue. So China reacted very, very aggressively. So I think that the U.S.-China relation not only deteriorated to the degree that beyond anyone's imagination or expectation, but also reached a point that there's a real danger for military conflict. This is, if it would happen, it will escalate very, very quickly. This is the war. No one can win. And like Dr. Kissinger said, that it's a devastating situation. So I think in that regard, the new administration will change. And but on the other hand, I think that the world has changed, China has changed, U.S. has changed. I think it's a new environment. There's a legitimate concern and worries from the U.S. perspective. So I think that there will be an important point of adjustment. And I think that China also needs to some adjustment as well. But I think the near future, I think there's areas for cooperation, not only just the economic financial stability in the world, the United States certainly in a difficult situation, but most urgently, it will be on the COVID-19 and also climate change. I think these are international public good will be very, very important to show goodwill, to see the need for cooperation, then we'll spread to some other areas.
Let me ask you about relationships and how they might matter, and also an understanding of China, because when you look at Joe Biden, he was a senator for many, many years, over 3 decades. He was one of the first to go with a congressional delegation to China. I think it was in '79. He made another trip as the head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. And then, of course, he made a couple of trips as well as the U.S. Vice President. He's had meetings with Xi Jinping, of course, in 2012 when he was vice president. When he came here, he met with him, and also not just here in Washington, but also in Los Angeles. Talk to us about those relationships and understanding of China vis-a-vis the Trump administration and their approach.
Well, yeah, President Biden visited China 4 times. He met with Xi Jinping altogether 11 times. During the months you just mentioned, that is 18 months between 2012 and 2013, there's incident in China, Bo-Xilai crisis and other crises. He actually spent 25 hours together with Xi Jinping on one-on-one base. So again, compare with his predecessor, Donald Trump, and also even compare with George W. Bush. So he is well informed about China, as you mentioned, about the early years as a congressman, as a senator, and etc. So he does not need his advisors to tell him what China, how to deal with China. He is well experienced. And also very important that during the campaign, in the particular final months, and also after he got elected, he said that Donald Trump's China policy is a failure, which means that he will significantly change that policy. And also he repeatedly said it was Russia, not China, that interfered in the U.S. election. And certainly he and his team see China and Russia very differently. He also emphasized China is a competitor, not an enemy, at least not enemy yet. So it's very, very important to have this kind of background, this kind of experience. I think that this will make a huge difference. But does not mean that all the problem will be resolved, because he deals with the political environment in the United States, especially on the Capitol Hill, is still very, very harsh on China. With some their own consideration, there's some space on a solid or evidence or their particular interests, but ultimately it's based on the changing geopolitical landscape. China become much stronger over the years, and the United States dealing with a series of challenges. I don't need to list all these challenges: coronavirus, economy, racial tensions, and also that because of Donald Trump, American reputation in the world also declined. So again, these are the challenges. But along with in areas like COVID-19, climate change, economic recovery, we need China's cooperation. Now on the Capitol Hill, there's a very strong bipartisanship, very firm on China. But in the local level, it's a different picture. Governors and mayors still wanted to do business with China. American business community still look at China as a huge market. So how to reconcile this kind of tension in the Capitol Hill, in the Beltway, and also the heartland of the United States? These are things that for him and for his administration, they need to take advantage about the American discourse about foreign policy, but at the same time, on the one hand, should firm to advance American interests, but at the same time, have a kind of a policy not undermine American strengths, but rather to strengthen American strengths, but at the same time find a way to work with China or to deal with China rather than to take a risk about the war scenario.